building. I mean, a lady had bought the building, sort of the shell of the building, which was a 500-year-old building, I think, and was going to make it into apartments, and each level was going to have 3 or 4 apartments. And this particular level, she had not sold any of the apartments, and I said, great, don't sell them. I'll just buy the whole level and make it one place. The best part, I think, of the whole place is this little chapel. I'm not the world's most religious person, but it's an amazing space. And this particular painting is something I found a year ago. It's 16th century Catalan painting, but the original frame. The frame was also 16th century, but back in that day they painted on wood. And just amazing when you look closely at it. And I had it cleaned when I bought it. It was really dirty, so it didn't shine and pop as much as it does there. Just because half the theme is Belgian, I figured I'd buy a Flemish antique, so this is 18th century Flemish armoire. Command Central. This is actually a piece of art that I bought in Santa Barbara. It's called Santa Barbara Dreaming. Anthony Mas, he does these paintings that are almost look like photos. Here's a Francis Bacon that he actually signed. Another painter from Santa Barbara. That's called The Healing. These are 3 pieces of art that I actually bought in 1994 by a lady from San Antonio named Betty Ward. And if you see the names, Grace 1, Grace 2, and Grace 3, that I bought 6 or 7 years before I ever had a girl named Grace. And here's where I suppose Cheryl's gonna make her next hit record. It's not really the kind of studio she's used to, I guess, but she just had all this stuff sent over. Her favorite guitars. She's really smart. She knows exactly what she's doing, so she knows how to work all this stuff. But it's pretty cool to have her around the house singing. You realize this is the real deal when she starts singing. So this is where I just sit and work. Right. And 1, 2, 3, 4.
That little work of art that he's raising up to the skies now he can put with the 4 others.
The first one is in Austin. The 5th one.
Because he now has 5 of those.
They're a gift from the President of France. They're supposed to be worth some ungodly amount of money. It's engraved here. It says, for the President of the Republic of France. Here we go. What's this Fiat? 2001 overall Tour de France.
The USA flags are flying high, as they have done for a 3rd year now for Lance Armstrong.
2001 Tour, 11th stage.
He beats it by a huge margin now. Absolutely remarkable.
That was a good day. 99.
The new leader of the Tour and the winner today.
God, there's a lot of them back here. 2019 stage.
Well, what a performance by Lance Armstrong. That is the 2nd fastest time trial ever seen.
Wow. Maybe that's just for the Tour de France.
The new leader of the Tour and the winner today.
Anyhow, a bunch of antique books that are all in foreign languages. They just look good. That's a bit of a bummer. I mean, I'm probably only in that house 30 nights a year, but I like the place. I like it.
Ours is a big ghetto compared to their budget. We don't have that no number 2 in the bathroom.
Johan recruits best support riders for the leader of the team, Lance Armstrong.
Might be better if you go and sign in with this up. Go on. It's terrible. The picture from the team time trial, man, on the podium.
Johan is obviously very close with Lance.
Hey, beetje profi, hè? Criterium International will be a good race. It's a pretty hard race. So winning is always difficult, especially where the team is normally not 100% at its top form, but I think will be a factor.
Here we are, back at the start now, Lance Armstrong. If he produces a ride like he did a couple of years ago in this event, then he will walk off with the yellow jersey.
Our idea is to not go into the red all year long until the Tour.
Whenever Armstrong comes out in the early part of the season, the reason he does is he wants to test himself. This is quite a difficult course.
There may be a few days where we try to do something really hard.
Armstrong will be very powerful. He uses these early season individual time trials to try out new equipment.
In the years prior to this, we've had too many times where we race and we say, okay, let's go for the win. And that's hard on the individual, it's hard on the team. And you know, a person only has so much energy in their life, really.
Can Lance Armstrong deliver the ride today that will give him a very early big win? and it would certainly send a few shudders through this race today.
It's hard to constantly be under pressure. I mean, it's not easy to win. There's physical and mental stress associated with that.
He's right up behind Gutierrez. We've just seen return the best time of 10 minutes 12. Look at the face of Armstrong now. This man has really tested himself today.
Fabulous
This is the best time, there's no doubt. Dare I say he might go inside 10 minutes. He seems to be that close. Big effort by Armstrong all the way to the line. He's being driven by the crowd, and look, he slipped away. Well, I'm absolutely amazed, but third place for Lance Armstrong.
Armstrong just started to crack towards the end there because he looked comfortable, he looked powerful, and then just towards the end, the seconds were just ticking away too quickly for him.
The Criterium International is over for another year. Jens Voigt, the German, is the champion of the weekend. He put in a fabulous ride, 10 minutes 12 seconds, and just a few seconds quicker than Lance Armstrong.
Criterium International, he had some good options to have a good result. And although that's not really important result-wise, I think it's important for the mind when you can stop a first block with a good sense of how things are going and go back to the States and know that things are right and keep working in that same direction.
Drive on, it don't mean
And this is,
love me, but they don't understand. And I got a woman who knows a man. Drive on, it don't mean
Puma?
nothing.
Yeah,
it
this
don't
should
mean
be.
nothing. Drive on.
And is he going
well,
left back through Malibu Canyon to PCH?
Yeah.
Because we were
no, okay, well, you know what? We've already
but left it
gone through
is. No, left it is
Yeah,
Malibu.
this is Malibu.
It is.
He's 2.5 hours into it. This is a 6-hour ride, and he's going to have 3 hard climbs today. Hey, aren't we going left, homie? Right.
Make it right? Yeah, right here. Rambla Pacifico.
Glad he knows where he's going.
Yeah.
I don't know where the hell I am.
One time we talked, you know how I said those commercials have to happen in December and January, and then they don't happen in April? I would never even think of doing it in May or June or even April. Here we are in April. Wow. They needed some stuff to finish up the commercials, and I can accommodate them. I mean, I can move the schedule around and do the training and still fit it in, so it's not a problem.
Stand by, quiet outside, please. Action.
My work here is done.
Maybe a teeny bit happier.
My work here is done. My work here is done. My work here is done.
And kill dogs, literally. And action.
My work here is done. Ooh. I wish my work here was done.
The training needs to shift, and the diet needs to shift as he goes through his year. At this point, he's eating a lot more carbohydrate. You know, I'll tell you, these low-carb diets, they don't work for athletes. I mean, there's no way a guy like Lance Armstrong could be doing what he's doing right now. You'd die out there, right, Dave?
Chin up. Yeah. That's it. That's what I like.